Hello to all my dear friends. I hope you are doing very well. I am Behruz Begum, and we are here with the first session of the Comprehensive Simulation Package in Architecture. We reviewed the complete details about the course in the previous video, and rest assured that all these steps that we work on together are the basic necessities for completing a project. That is, in this course, I try to avoid extra options and unnecessary talk, and we will work together on all the techniques that I personally use to achieve a good result for a real render. And I promise you that if we go through these topics completely, step by step, together, we will definitely get results. And please, I ask you, you don't necessarily need to go through each session with just one viewing, because sometimes there are some sessions, some topics that are solved with one viewing, but some topics you can watch 2 or 3 times, even up to 10 times. When this problem arises, don't think it's your fault. Some topics are really difficult and require continuous and consistent practice. Well, in the previous video, I taught you how to install Max 2022. That is, we are now moving forward with the latest version available to us, and all the options are new, and I am sure you will achieve the best results. Well, stay with me, let's go to the software. Okay guys, after I install and crack Max, when we open it, we are faced with exactly the same shape, with the same interface. Well, I start teaching and introducing our software interface from these 4 views that you see. Okay guys, these 4 views that you see are our workbench, meaning that whatever we do, we observe it together in these viewports. For example, see, I draw a box from the command panel. Well, let's not draw a box. Let's draw a teapot, for example. Well, see, now I can see this teapot in different angles, in different views. That is, in the way that I am in the perspective view now. You see, it shows the perspective view here. In this view, I am in the front view now, the next view is the top view, the left view, and so on. Here we can determine ourselves in which mode to be. Now, I don't care. I delete it. We start introducing our software from the File section. Guys, our first section is the New section. I don't use this New section much, because now it shows us ready-made templates and a series of things that are in the Max environment, which I don't work with much, because firstly, as I told you, I will only say the things that I do myself that are useful in the field of architecture, because if we want to say all the topics and all the options of 3D now, I think we have to work together for about 200 sessions. I try to avoid extra things. The next option that is useful to us is the Restart option. Restart. I have drawn a box here, for example, a teapot, a cylinder. My scene is now cluttered, and now I can't come and select each of these one by one, delete them, and empty this place. Well, when you want to work on the project from the beginning, you come here from the File section, press Reset. Well, it doesn't need to be saved. I press No, and Reset says, "Are you sure you want to reset?" I say yes. Exactly in the same way that Max came up for the first time. I will receive this scene exactly in this way. Well, the next option is Open. It's clear from its name, opening a project. I have worked on this project, for example. I press Open, and we wait a few seconds for it to load. Now its loading depends on the volume and heaviness of our project, and in this way we see our project open. I reset it again. Our next option is Open Recent File, meaning that it shows us the 10 files that we have worked on before here. Guys, always try to name your project file correctly so that you can easily manage it in these sections, because now if I don't name it here, we will have problems. But now, for example, I use Open very little, because it shows me my 10 recent projects here. I can select one of them and open it. So always try to write the names of your projects correctly. Well, the next option, now, the batch file, is not very useful to us either. 2 very useful options are Save As and Save. Well, if you have worked with other software like Photoshop, this issue is always true. Bottom part, we specify the format of the Max version here. Format, not that all of them are with the max.max format, meaning the main format of Max itself. Well, but sometimes it happens that you have worked in version 2022, and now you want to open it on your friend's computer, but your friend's computer has version 2000. It is dead. It will not open the higher versions at all. You cannot open the higher versions and the lower versions of Max. There is no solution. I have searched a lot. There are 2 scripts, but it is annoying. The only way is that when you save it from here, save the appropriate version that you want to open here. Now, my Max is 2022. You see it shows us 3 Max versions lower here. Now I can, for example, search for 2019 and take it to a computer that has Max version 2019. Open it easily. But if there is no need to do this, you know that you are working right here. Even if you take it to another computer, that version is also the same 2022. You don't need to touch these. It is enough for it to remain the same first Gmax. We specify our path here, and I press the save option here, and now my project is saved. I can work on it with peace of mind. Well, now you say, what is the save option? Well, then what is it here? We learned save as. What is the save option? We said we version it for the first time. We don't need to save as it one by one. For the next times, we press a normal save once. It falls exactly on the same path where we save as once. The hotkeys are also written next to it, you see. The hotkey is the same middle button on the board. Try to learn all the shortcuts and hotkeys, because it is these hotkeys that help us in the time and faster work of our projects. All professionals have memorized most of these hotkeys, and try to learn. Write it in a small notebook. I will tell you these piece by piece. Try if you want to have a complete archive of hotkeys. Write each hotkey that I tell you separately in a notebook. Memorize it now once or twice in your project is working. Rest assured that you will automatically memorize all of it. So the hotkey of save as is Shift plus Control plus S, and the normal save is Control S. Okay. The next option that I work with here is the Save Selected option. Guys, this is also very useful to us. Meaning in what way? Let me give it a restart. Well, for example, here I say with Pro Recent, not a project, open my own project. Now this project is a bit heavy, you see. It takes a long time. Well, it brought a message here for me. Well, it says, Dear friend, your system here, your software unit is on meters, but the file you are opening is on inches. You can change it here. See, if you leave it on this option, Adapt File Uniteds, it will load exactly the same model. It says, okay, I know how the units are, but if you put it on scale, it will come and set it with the unit of measurement of your computer system. Meaning if it is meters here, it will also be converted to meters. Guys, you see this page. You opened it here. File text says, I loaded this file, but why did I lose the text and its materials? I lost its lights? It wants the address. Now I don't care. I will tell you about these in detail in the rendering course. With one click, it opens all your lost files. I press continue and it opens. We go to the view. Well, you see here, guys, this project is now ready. Well, where were we? We were in M. It shows black, meaning none of these have recognized its texture. I wanted to teach you Save Selected here. Save Selected is clear from its name. Save Selected. Meaning, for example, where is it used? I have opened the project in this way. Even my own previous project. Or it is a ready-made scene. You know there are many ready-made scenes on the internet, especially for over-motion ready-made scenes, inside which there are very good and high-quality objects here. For example, it says, I like this. I want to have it as a separate object. You don't need to delete all of these and come and save it from the beginning again. There is a solution here. Select the object you like. Save it. It is needed. I am not doing it now. See. Now we go to the Save section. You see it is activated for self. I select it. You only have to select it to be activated. I select it and I say Save Selected, and you give its name in P or wherever you want. You press Save, and this object is available to us separately and as a single object, and we can use it in our project. I also put nozzle. I name it 12. I save it. Okay. Well, I press Restart again. Max comes up by default so that we can learn how to import objects now. You will import so many of these objects in the course that you will automatically learn all of it, but now we want to teach you these in general. Well, I will tell you about Archive later. Archive is an option that takes an archive of the whole project from it, because now it is meaningless. If I want to say archive, the meaning of archive is all the information of the project, including textures, materials, lights, and anything that is in the project. We can easily archive it with the help of this wonderful option, and take it to another computer and load it with all the details. But now we are in the modeling course in the same way. Take saves model by model, and it can be used everywhere easily. Well, the import option is a very important option. Import means, guys, importing here, which copy is useful to us. This is useful to us when we want to, for example, from a tech Revit or any software that we did the modeling operation there, and we want to bring it into the environment of Max software. So here, from the import option, see two options are useful to us here. Now these are links that can be with FBX AutoCAD formats, which you will review later in the projects. The first option that I will tell you now is the Melch option, see Mojo. Now I press it, I go to the desktop, this object is horse, and I have defected it. I press it, well, it opens a page. There is one shape here if there were many, press allo, if there was one. Press 1, OK. And now the object is red here, and if I press D, you see it gets closer. And we were able to import the object very easily. Only guys remember this. The open option is different from these import. Merge is different. If you press open now, whatever project you have, it closes and opens the new project. But when we press the Mojo option, our project stays, and this object is imported as the next object into the same project that you are working on. And it is very useful to us. The same way of importing the object. Our job in the rendering course is importing ready-made objects. Now I have a lot to say to you about ready-made objects. Until now it has mostly become common that we should not use ready-made objects. The one who is a real 3D-worker should model everything himself. See guys, these theories have been rejected for years. See, objects are made for me and you, to come and use them. Now we say class that no, I want to model all of them myself. Rest assured you will never reach that quality, that a factory like Oberbosen, a company like Overmotion, like I don't know CG Axis, come and spend months every day to make these objects. You can never build an object of this quality in 1 or 2 days. Now I am not saying that building an object is a problem. See guys? Building an object is a separate topic. It is like a different business. We want to learn the industry of Arch-Reese. An architectural simulation here, meaning to learn how to bring these ready-made objects into our scene, how to combine them with each other, and reach a result because now, for example, another project card does not give me, okay, deliver it to me in 3 days. I do not have the time to sit and model these one by one. Give material, work on its details. So for this reason use ready-made objects. Without any fear, guys, we are now reaching the introduction of the import option. Import we said is for importing. For example, 2-dimensional maps from another software. I give a restart again, I press the import option, I go to my hard drive. For example here, the plan is yes, it solves the problem. Well, I press K. A page appears in this form, guys. Before I say this import, I go here to the Customize. Unit Setup, guys. We set the unit of our software from this section. And I beg you to come and correct your unit from here at the beginning of the work, before the project starts. Then start working. Because later, if we want to change this, it will be very troublesome and annoying. Well, here I come. I put my unit on meters. Be sure to check its tick. You see millimeters, centimeters, meters, and kilometers. We usually work either with meters, or if the scale of our work is, for example, small Eid kitchen that you know centimeter is working, you can put it on the centimeter option there. I put it on the meter, and here there is also another option called system, meaning 3. Guys, this is the accuracy of the software. Here it is now on meters. This is completely wrong, meaning the accuracy of the software is in meters. This is bad. It is by default on inches. Washed it, now because we do not work with inches much. We are satisfied with centimeters, so I put this on centimeters. The accuracy of the software is on centimeters, and the unit of the software is also on meters. Okay, well, here I press the import option, and I come and load this plan. Well, Here it says, first, what is the unit? I press real world, and I press my unit on M. You see, it shows us a general area here. You can understand from here that this is entering correctly. Or not, you are now working in AutoCAD. For example, you know that the area of this is, for example, 3000 by 2000. It is clear from here that you are entering correctly. For example, here I put it on centimeters. See, the whole project became 372 centimeters by 192. So, this is wrong. I put it on meters. The options that we have here, guys, are options that are dependent on the software that you have worked on there. For example, see year Dulac Nud Hiki. I don't know Spike with this Matrion blah at high ray. These guys, if you have followed the layering in AutoCAD, for example, if you have worked with layers, you can, for example, put these on layers so that each layer is loaded separately. If you press the option, this will be like, for example, an object being imported. I do not care about it. I put the same one that it had put its first option. Well, now if we wanted something, we can put it to be one object, or to be entered internally, or to put the same option that it had put. The next option that is useful to us here is the Weld Mary Birdist option. If I activate this, if you have worked on these in the code or in the right, but you are not sure that these main points are welded together or not, now maybe it will be meaningless if I say these, because we have not yet learned the course of splanes, the two-dimensional courses. I will tell you about these in detail after you have learned these welds and splines. But understand until here that its job is to weld the points close to each other. If you doubted that yes, it has not been completely attached there, you can OK the points close to each other with a specific number with the help of this option. The other options will be useful to us in the projects that we import. We will review them there because we do not have any background for now, so that I can come and explain these. Well, I press K, and it takes a long time. We wait for it to come and load. Okay? And you see that we were able to import our plans with exactly the same details that we worked with. And you always see here, for example, the layers. The side that has worked has layered these. And you see that we have these layers separately. I go from the input option. Well, the next option, and the next option is also export, meaning we want to export a project from inside the Max environment to inside another software, like, for example, Lumion. Here, I've worked on a building, that, for example, Lumion does not recognize the Max format. It recognizes it, but it recognizes it heavily. Our suggested format for Lumion is the suggested FBX format. So we can export here. Okay, I am exporting a cow in with the name, for example, Lumion. The formats that we can export here, it shows us there. Here, I want to take, for example, FXIP, or I take a TWC to take it for an AutoCAD. So from here we can have these programs, guys, interact with each other. All the programs are somehow related to each other. There is a link from the architectural software to each other. Now Max is not architectural software, it is graphical software. AutoCAD is architectural software. Ed is architectural software. Now Lumion, you say, is more of an architectural software. Kids are software, Puliki, and design software. But it offers us so many very good and complete possibilities and options that we choose to do the same architectural operation in the best quality inside Max. Well, so here I put, for example, on FI, I press save. Here it also has its own special options, but it is not necessary. I press the same, okay, it comes and does my export. The next options that I'm working with here, there is an option called preferences, meaning the brain and the main settings of Max, guys, are gathered. Here are all those small options, so we can go from this section, File Fetten, and also from the Customize section, we can select Preferences here. I said I am opening it. There are many options here. It is not possible for me to tell you all of these now, because none of them are useful to us. We only want some things that we sometimes get stuck in the project to know where we can solve these. Well, the first option, guys, is the general option. In the general option, 2 or 3. Of course, not here. I think I am doing a lot of things with this one. See, save, and rov, land rov. Meaning what? See, I have drawn a box here. You learn all of these. These are for now. I am telling you the first thing so that I have several examples. For example, see, I am doing 2 or 3 things here. I am exaggerating this. I am pressing Sha, another exaggeration in this way. Now I have done 5 or 6 things. I have executed 5 commands in the environment of the software. Guys, we have 2 very attractive and useful options. I am not here that I did these nth. I say, okay, I ruined one of these pieces here. It is not possible for me to come and work completely from the beginning, so I can easily return one stage back, the last command that I did. This operation is called AND. Its job is said to be returning one stage to the back. The shortcut button to its hotkey is Control Z. You see the stage return back. One more time, one more time, one more time. We see, so how many stages can we rov? And A's stretch is also here. Hati is also Nazar. You can do it in the same way as you would this, the next V. Is this card? Ride rov. Did you see it? Meaning one stage. B leads forward. Did you see it? Yedu. Ridorov do. You see? So this is very useful to us. This is also now Hati control ILK. You see Ctrl A returns back, and Control Gur also goes one stage forward. Well, this is how it is. Well, here in the Customize section, Berft, what is written? Scene, Lauren said, meaning I can return up to 100 stages back. Guys, 100 is too much. Now this in the previous versions of Max. This was usually on 40 or 30. This has now been put on SED by default. Now I don't know the need relative to the computer and system. Also comes and adjusts this. Or now the default is on SED, 100 stages, guys. In my opinion, it is too much, because the tone should memorize 100 stages of the project, so that you wanted to return back and forth. Do these. My suggestion for children who have a very good system is the same 50 or max mom, another 60 stages, but children who are working with laptops and ordinary systems, in my opinion, is enough for the same Bele 20, no more than this opinion, because it involves the tone very seriously. Well, I press K, all of our next options. I am going to the File section. Here we have a very useful option called Auto Backup. Do you see Atcus? What is its job when you activate Atcus? You assign a time to it. See, for example, it is on 5 minutes here. I am putting this in 10 minutes. Do you see its unit series, meaning you have to, after the minute, meaning I have now put this on 10, this will come automatically once every 10 minutes. It will take a seed. Now you say where it is used. You are now working. You know, and you are delivering the project tomorrow. If this crashes in the middle of the card and throws you out, you will be miserable. Well, and when I activate this, I know that, okay, I am absent-minded. I do not remember to do a seed every 10 minutes with whatever I am doing. But I recommend it, guys. Always have this as a souvenir from me. Every important work that you have done in the M environment. Do a seed in one stage. Press a Control S once. Let it become, because do not wait. Your energy will be wasted for nothing. You know you have worked for half an hour. All of them have been ripped. But now this also weighs a little. Now Autoba has become very good. In the versions, for example, 2014, 15, and Autoba. Wanted to take for 3 minutes, for example, every 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 3 minutes, 2 minutes. You had to wait, this was to become seer. But now, thank God, in the new versions, especially in the 20 to top version, the speed of Auto Backup has increased a lot. And we can count on it. I am putting this on yes. A 1/4 number also has here the name Braf Autoka Al. It says how many backups to take when this is on. 3. It takes a seed once every 10 minutes. It puts it on the first file after 10 minutes. It puts it on the second file. Then it puts it on the third file. and in the same way it comes as if it were step-step thing. That one of them is, for example, broken. One is L broken. It can be used from the next file. It is a very good technique. Now 3 is also too much. 2, for example, in my opinion, is to be that 1 is broken to use this. And your carton has also been team shid. Press OK, it will be applied. Let me see the next option. The other options here, I said F, everything is appropriate here. Only 2 or 3 options are in lock peer view. This in some places, the errors that this course throws can be removed by removing these errors highlights, which in my opinion, you do not want to touch. We have an attractive option here. See display Raber, guys. Sometimes a problem arises. You see in the work environment while working. For example, it shows the objects broken. Or, for example, it has become a strange base. At that time, your graphics card comes and gives an error. We can from this section, Jai Bay. We press on the next and different versions that our graphics card supports. Put it on F, on Direct Terry D11. Ench is suggested and complete. A time when you see you are facing such problems, change these. For example, put it on Dar Electric, No Well, or for example, put it on Nitro Softbur. Only guys in this way, you can't press on No. Press OK, and it's finished? No. You have to close Max once and open it from the beginning to be applied. Okay? I'm putting Menonal 11. The next option here is the Gamma and L-UT, Gamma UT, meaning guys adjusting the amount of darkness and brightness of the screen. It says there is a conventional number. You see Gamar Doo, meaning all the textures, materials, light of the scene, HDRI, all of them come and work with the standard number, Doo, and always before starting the project. Once we said set your software unit, UNS, and the next option that we definitely check is this Gamma and L-UT option. It is always active by default, and it is on Doo. Check it once to see if this Abal is now on Doo. Okay? And now I can start working on my projects with standard GAMS Doo, and the other options, I don't think we need them anymore. Press OK. That's also from the option. Well guys, this part that you are watching is the pool bar, and our tools section. These parts, for example, the rendering section has many options here, or the customize section, or the section, for example, modifiers to the animation. It says how many options it has. Each of them has several options inside. Some of these options useful tools, and we see them here as icons, meaning these are very useful tools, but most of them we can also access from here. Well, I start introducing these toolbars so that we can go forward one by one. I start again. Everything returns to its first T. Guys, you said now to this part, I say our viewport section. In the viewport section, I can adjust my viewport here with the help of hotkeys. You are going on perspective. Now the hotkey of perspective is Q. You can keep your method here. Press C, Hoti Persit P. Hoti orthographic. Y orthographic. We do not work with now either, and it is two-dimensional. It is useful to us in the bris of rend, or the option now does not have a boom. Flant af back. For God's sake, from any angle we can see our shape. And this is wonderful in my opinion, because the main options of Max are these. You are not so open in other software that you can easily come and spin in your project. Well now then, if I press PU, he sees it going up. If I press L, it goes to the left view, it is updated here. Or, for example, I'm going to the perspective view, the bottom views. I do not know the right. Now, if right presses here, it does not work, guys. We can also give these hotkeys ourselves. We will learn later that we customize, but try to learn the same ones that Max has suggested, because now you get used to pressing D for perspective. You go somewhere else. You get paralyzed. You cannot do anything. Okay, so this is also from our viewports, guys, to this operation that we are going and doing here. This is called the operation of panning, meaning it is as if you are holding this shape. We are panning it. Its hotkey is the middle button of Muse, or Curvor and Move Shay. If you hold it down, you see it as panning. Its icon is also here. All of these that I am saying now are also here. See, I am activating the pen, and I am panning this. Well, so the first important option is to span. The second very important option that we should always keep is to orbit around our object. I am now, when I pen, I hold down Alt. If I pen, then it knows that, okay, my subject is this. When you catch it, select the tree in the middle of us plus Alt. So from any angle you see, you have access to it, and this is unmatched. It makes our work much easier for us to have sufficient control and management for our object. So be sure to write this too. Alt plus car and moves, and the selection of our object is called the operation of orbit. The option is here. Orbit, whichever one you are comfortable with, you can do. Okay. The next very important option. I have now caught this. For example, the scene is far away. I have selected this. I do not want to zoom it in one by one to reach it. From wherever you are in the scene, select your shape. Press D once. You see exactly it comes and finds my shape from wherever it is, and delivers it to me. So the next very important option is D, getting closer to the object. Now, as you are working, I will remember one by one. I will say, because I am not working from any writing, I am exactly teaching you these one by one that you need to learn, step by step. Now this option is also zoom. You also know this, zoom clause row moves, and back and forth. You do zooms. One more option, you might ask. Okay, how did you do this? 1. The whole viewport became one piece, with the help of Alt+W, Alt+W Kirsch. This is it. It switches between viewports. Meaning now I have selected this, you see a yellow halo has come around it. Meaning now this viewport is selected. Meaning if Alt+W presses on it, it comes and goes into that viewport exactly. An option left, I am coming here. Alt+W once more. It comes back again to this four-way state. Now you say that, okay, I do not want 4 of them here. I want 2 of them, 3 of them. It is very easy. From here, see, I am clicking on the style that I like. I am selecting, for example, 2 of them. It became 2. With it can be easily used. W also we said, it switches on it. Well, so the techniques of viewport have also been learned. Almost now, here, there are a few attractive options that I am also telling you about. For example, like what port clipping or frame, the next option here, guys, is the display state of our object. Now what is the display state of the object? See, we have 4 styles of displaying the object here. The standard option, the suggested option of Max itself, and the suggested option of me also. Now I am becoming heavy on high quality, high cardi. What did it do? It is becoming very heavy. But you see it automatically brings the shadows. It brings the highest quality. You can count on it in scenes where, for example, you are working on a single object. But it makes our work very heavy in TFNG scenes. The standard is enough. In my opinion, that we do not want to see the shadows in the viewport. We usually see the shadows after the rendering operation.